So this, I finally broke down and got the Peacock streaming service. When they took The Office off of Netflix, I was really pissed. I've binge watched The Office 20 million times. It's my go-to for, feel good. That and Parks and Rec, or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or Malcolm in the Middle, like those type of shows, I love. But this, I went out and actually, like, I had my wife get the Peacock streaming service because I wanted The Office, and I didn't want to get the DVDs, because, I usually just listen to it in the background while I'm working. So that being said, I didn't want to watch the first two seasons because there wasn't anything new to them. I wanted to watch the Superfan episodes, the ones that actually have the deleted scenes put back into the episodes. And I was blown away by the content that they just jam packed into this episode. And I also at the same time realized that I should feel cheated for what they took out. Like, all of us should feel cheated. Like, it's such a complete episode now. And you wonder how you suffered before with, they were already great before, that they're so much better now. So that being said, I'm going to start these reviews on season 3, because that's where the Superfan episodes are. I did a couple episodes years ago for a review. I'm not going to go back to those, because, why? But I figured these Superfan episodes, it would be fun to talk about the newer content of each episode, and say why I think the service is worth it. So that being said, the episode, season 3, episode 1, Gay Witch Hunt. Everybody, of course, knows that's where Oscar comes out. But the episode starts off with Michael talking to Jan, and he has to make, phone calls about, what his progress is during the day. And that whole thing, it adds to the storyline of why eventually Scranton branch closes. And to me, I feel like that is so important, because it's like when you get to that episode, it's like all of a sudden the branch closes and you're like, oh, but I thought they were doing good. But this one, it really sets up the relationship between Jan and Michael of, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're a problem. And I like that, because it's so much more complete. You also have, Jim, of course, has gone off to, I forget, Stanford branch. And, he played the one lady who has the baby that works there. She'll eventually transfer over when everybody's fired. But like, I didn't even know who she was when she came over initially in the first go around in the episodes. But here, she's clearly established, because she's like milking herself, and Karen tells her, nobody wants to see your udders, as she walks by, but it clearly establishes, who that character is. And I wish they had left that in. It didn't add much to the story, but it added, the character, where I would have felt that was needed when those characters came over. It really added to that story depth, much like Andy and Karen, they got their moments to shine. It gave her a chance to shine, because I don't really feel like she had that until she actually got to Scranton. And then by the time she had a chance to shine, she, off camera left. So this I really enjoyed the fact that they gave, that character, some justice. And they also gave Karen more to do by programming Jim's phone to dial Hong Kong every time he hits some type of button. I forget which one it was. But, Jim makes their comment. He's like, he talks to her, he kind of laughs about it, and he says, that's the type of prank that, I would have done to Dwight. And she kind of rags on him a little bit, and he says, I'm the assistant regional manager, and then he kind of looks at the camera, and you can tell he misses the old branch, the hijinks that he did with Dwight, and you can tell he kind of regrets his decision of going to Stanford. And those are the type of things in this episode. The meeting that they had was extended some. I don't quite remember everything that went into that. There was nothing really that stood out, just maybe a couple lines here and there. Nothing, like, no big storyline stuff. Like those things that I told you about, like those I was like, this makes this feel more complete. It was deleted scenes, not just deleted lines or different takes. But this I felt added more to the episode. Where I know if I would have, if I watched, the episode without the stuff in it, I'd be like, oh man, you got to put that back in. So I really enjoyed it. I think anybody who enjoys The Office, I think should get the Peacock streaming service. It's not a plug for them because, who the fuck am I? Nobody knows who I am. But to me, it was worth it because I do a lot of traveling. I do a lot of, I'm not at home a lot, so to me, it's easy to go and again, listen to this in the background while, I'm doing something, and then to see those new scenes, it just makes me appreciate the show more, still, I'd recommend if you haven't seen it, watch it. First season's kind of bad to watch. If it's kind of hard to watch, I would say start with season 2 and go from there. Even if you, even if you couldn't barely stomach the first season, still get to season 2 and watch like the first couple episodes, and I guarantee you'll like it because it's a complete difference from the first season. I watched the second and third season initially, and then I was like, let me go back to the first one, and then I could stomach it because I had already got a feel of who the characters were, but that first season was kind of hard to get through for me. But anyway, I digress. So I think this episode was, good, especially with the stuff put in. I'm glad I got the service, and those are just my thoughts. But with that in mind, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.